We are here today in Brussels at the Synergy Network Conference from all across Europe to learn from each other, to share experiences, but also to look forward for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, to build violence-free societies, to build violence-free Europe for us, for our children and for the next generations to come. And it's very important for my country, Poland, which had troubles in ratifying Istanbul Convention, that we were on the verge of withdrawing from the Istanbul Convention. And this is the standard that I would love to last in Poland, in Europe, worldwide, because it's a foundation of creating a violence-free environment.
I think that domestic and gender-based violence is one of the most pressing human rights issues in our lifetime. For instance, if we look at the numbers, 1 out of 3 women in Europe has been exposed to violence. So this is something we need to deal with to reach our goal, Europe free from violence.
Combating domestic violence and violence against women is a priority for the EEA and Norway Grants. We have been working on this issue for decades. It started when we started the first program in 2004. It was enlarged in the next period, 2009-14. And for this period, we have made it a key intervention and priority.
Thanks to Norway Grants, we were able to address this social challenge at the very local level and to help local municipalities to put forward programs combating domestic violence. And this is exactly the level where the victims are seeking help, the level where the help is needed, and also where the needs are diagnosed with the greatest scrutiny.
The EEA and Norway Grants are designed to address societal challenges by fostering collaboration and fund innovative solutions. By supporting projects across 9 beneficiary countries, we have helped establish safe spaces, legal aid and integrated responses, ensuring the victims receive the care and protection they need, while also addressing the root causes of violence.
I don't think it is a quick fix to solve the issue about combating gender-based and domestic violence. Therefore, we need to work together. Cooperation is the key word. We need to work across sectors, countries, international organizations, and that's why the Council of Europe, for instance, is an important partner for us.
Council of Europe and EEA and Norway Grants have been working long together. I think the first agreement was signed in 2011, and especially the work on violence against women and gender-based violence has been a priority since the very beginning. And this work together between the Council of Europe and EEA and Norway Grants have been excellent example of how a legal standard that we are producing at the Council of Europe can be implemented on the ground with the help of EEA Norway Grants.
What are highlights of our cooperation? I would say there's one on the strategic level, which is really that I would believe that because of based on the standards the Council of Europe has developed, we are really able to put the programs in the right direction on a strategic level, so that our advice really was of good value for the EEA Norway Grants. And then picking one highlight, I would say 2, was the Synergy Network is really something where I think which was very close to our heart and where we had a good support. And we had one particular project where we really were involved as a project partner, where we really did things and delivered, especially on the digitalization of courts. That was the Cheney project, and I think that was really very much appreciated from all participants.
The reason why it's important to have a united European approach to tackle gender-based violence is actually very simple. We are stronger together. If we join forces, we can better help the many women victims of gender-based and domestic violence. And we work together on 2 fronts in terms of policy and setting, standard setting. We have elaborated together the Istanbul Convention in the framework of the Council of Europe, which is the gold standard for tackling this heinous phenomenon. And second, we are complementing each other in the area of funding, where we work together to make sure that the money that each of our organizations dedicate to gender-based violence is spent in a very efficient way.
The EU survey on gender-based violence shows that 1 in 3 women in the EU have experienced violence, be it physical violence, sexual violence or psychological violence. These results are at the same level as in FRA's 2014 survey, so 10 years ago. This suggests that EU member states still have a lot to do in tackling violence against women. The survey also shows that many women are not reporting their experiences to the authorities, be it to the police or contacting health services or victim support services. This means that women do not get the information on their rights that they would get if they were in contact with these authorities.
Norway's aim in the upcoming period is to continue our good work, to work together with our partners so we can fight gender-based and domestic violence, better prevent this issue. For instance, it is about cross-border preventing and combating domestic and gender-based violence, especially among young people. Another issue is how we can secure the rights of Roma women.
To eradicate violence in Europe, the Fundamental Rights Agency really benefits from the cooperation with the grants. This is because for example, through the surveys such as the EU survey on gender-based violence, the Fundamental Rights Agency collects a lot of data on the situation in different member states. But this data alone doesn't translate into change unless there's then initiatives like the grants that help make the change at the member state level.
For the European Commission, it's very important to have actors like the EEA and Norway Grants in tackling gender-based violence and domestic violence. The EU is a major donor in this field with the Citizens' Equality, Rights and Values Programme, but we cannot be the only one, and the EEA and Norway Grants are having a very important role in complementing EU funding. Many civil society actors would not exist without funding from both sources, and EEA and Norway Grants also gives essential help to member state actors to support them in taking measures to tackle gender-based violence and domestic violence that we don't reach with our funding, which is mainly targeted to civil society.
The next steps for the EEA and Norway Grants involves building on the successes we have achieved while addressing new and emerging challenges. I would like to personally thank all our partners who have joined us for this conference today, and I'm really looking forward to continue the work in the next period, promoting the work of the Synergy Network.